Good morning. It is Tuesday, March the 17th. It is St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this thing up. Boom, boom. Text to speech is on. All right. Let's get going. Let's pursue some happiness out here. Got a little news today, just a little update on what we're doing today. I had, as I always do, I had scheduled my stream, and again, not able to start it up in a horizontal view. So I apologize for anybody that was waiting for that stream, because I tried, but I couldn't get it to go horizontal. So, started another one. But anyway, it's cold this morning, 26 degrees here in Hampstead, but it's clear, and I don't think the roads are good. I am late. Well, let me explain a couple things going on. Hold on. Did put my little speaker on there. So, was there an animal back there? There's something in the road. So, in Reisterstown, it rained and it was windy, and it wasn't horrible yesterday, but it was a rainy day. Well, I got up to the bakery and there was like a thick crust of some kind of snowy, icy mess all over the van. I mean, it was like encased. So it was running for a while. Oh, look, there was a branch down. So the van needed a good deal of preparation this morning, and that is the primary reason why I'm late. I mean, I actually had to scrape the windshield for a little bit. It wasn't pretty, which really surprised me because my car was perfectly clear. Like it did rain yesterday, but I guess we didn't have, maybe it's snowed in Hampstead. I don't know. So that was the reason for my lateness. Along with and then it got even a little later because I haven't learned how to do this yet. I don't know what to do. But I had my stream scheduled. I went in to try to start it, and I just don't understand why I go in a horizontal. I do it before I've tried it before I hit the go live, which is when you're supposed to do it. I've tried it while I'm in the middle of editing the schedule. It's weird. I've tried all kinds of things, but for whatever reason, when I hit the button, it wants me to be vertical, and it won't, you can't change it. Once you've started the stream, you can't change it from horizontal or to vertical or vice versa. You can't do that. So I had to end that one. I couldn't use it.
Sean White says you use Prism right.
No, I don't. I was very happy using Prism. I loved that. But that's the one with the delay. That delays everything. That delays the video and the audio a little bit. I mean, you don't really know it. If you're using it, you don't know that it's a bigger delay, but yeah, it does. So I use the YouTube app, which I don't want to say I don't like it, but I don't like it. I did like it, actually. It was working great for a couple months, and then something happened.
Q7L says, good morning, y'all. That's about what we had yesterday. This morning it's 30 degrees. I wouldn't be able to do what you do with this stuff.
It's yucky. Yeah, it's 27 here, so actually we're pretty close. degree wise. But it was like a crust. The van was covered with ice. So I have to admit though, that hasn't happened a lot this year, so I can take one time.
Ways Double Hazy says some of those delays got crazy though.
With Prism, yeah, it did. Yes. I'm not going to go back to Prism. I'm not going to. Sounds like I'm saying I'm not going to go back to prison, but I'm not. I wouldn't do that. Everything was working fine with the YouTube app for weeks and weeks. I want to say even maybe a couple months. It was working great. So I don't know what happened. I used to literally press one button and it would be, I didn't even have to go in and adjust the horizontal vertical. But now when I do that, it tells me it always wants to open up as vertical. So.
Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says Merry Christmas. At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says there's an old one now.
There's an old one now. Yeah, she just caught up with one from Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it was pretty bad. Oh, so here's the thing. So today, after I go to What a Day, I'm going to Pennsylvania to pick up supplies at Weaver's in Wellsville, ladies and gentlemen. So we got to look at the decorated house when we pass by going this way, because I'm not going to come back this way.
Sean White says, what do you use for voice to text?
I think it's called Stream Buddy. Stream Buddy. And Stream Buddy, I forget.
Sean White says, or text to voice.
Yeah, text to voice, right. I knew what you meant. I like Stream Buddy. It's never going to be instantaneous. I've sort of given up on that, but it's faster than I would be able to read it if I waited until I stopped. So I'm happy with it. But I'm going to figure out this YouTube thing. I'm not giving up on this. It's ridiculous. The trouble is, I don't like it taking me very much time. Like, one of the things I committed to myself when I started this whole thing was it interfere with my time, right? Like, I want to be able to get in the van, put the camera on the windshield, and I mean, now I got to put my microphone on, but that's like an extra 15 seconds. But I don't want it to take me very long. Like now, with me. Oh, wait a minute. Before I get into that story, let's check out the house. I think it's going to be... I'm sure he didn't come out and do anything yesterday. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, there you go. All right, so, yeah, we still have decorations. Look, I think he's in the window. Yeah, it's all still there. But what happens now is I get in the van, so I have the van parked outside of the bakery when I load it up. And then when I get in, I have to put the camera on the windshield, you know, get the microphone hooked up, which just doesn't take me very long. But now I'm playing around with YouTube trying to get it from vertical to horizontal. And I just feel silly sitting in the van while I'm supposed to be leaving to make my delivery. So, got to speed that up. The other thing I like about Stream Buddy is I have it on a separate phone. So I almost read that. Like, I know you guys usually have a second phone so that you can read the chat in YouTube, because it kind of disappears. If you're using the YouTube app, you know, it kind of like disappears. So if you want to have it there, you can either sign into YouTube and watch your chat as if you were watching your YouTube channel. The good thing about that is you can see how the broadcast looks. So that is kind of a benefit to that. But I don't do that. I have the Stream Buddy, which keeps the text, you know, aside from just, or not aside from, but in addition to reading out the text, it also displays it if you do want to read it. So yeah, Stream Buddy seems to be good. There's some debris in the road. Maybe they did have a windy period of time yesterday. I didn't. We had some super, super heavy rain yesterday. And I mean, it was sort of windy, but not as bad as they were making it out to be. So after the delivery at What a Day this morning, I will head up to Pennsylvania. And I've got the Starlink plugged into the van, so I don't have to worry about the battery. The battery usually lasts me about 3.5 to 4 hours. But since I'll be pushing that today, I don't want to worry about the battery running out up there. I think it was raining everywhere I looked yesterday. It was raining. It was raining here. I saw it raining up in Boston. I saw it raining in North Carolina. And I saw it raining in Australia. It seemed like every YouTube channel I looked at, it was raining. The whole planet. Probably wasn't raining in Arizona, but I was asleep. I was asleep before Arizona comes on.
Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says Pennsylvania did get some snow, so you might see some there.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure how far east it came.
Huh. How far? Oh, so it was out. Okay. Well, we're gonna find out. Gas prices are up a little bit.
Cat.cs2 says goody morning CRRR egg. At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy, Ogshon, Mountain Man.
Good morning, Sawyer. How are you doing? I have one delivery today, and then I have a pickup at a supply. Got to get some supplies up in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to ride up there.
Sticat.cs2 says awake kinda. How are you?
Oh,
Where are we going? At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says good morning, just a cat.
We're going, after What a Day, we're going to go to Wellsville, Pennsylvania, which is northeast of Hanover. I don't know exactly how far it is from What a Day to that spot, but I think it's about an hour's ride. We've been there before. It's the when I pull in there, I'm like pulling into this place where mostly 18-wheelers are loading up their trucks. So I always feel a little insignificant as I park my tiny little van next to the door. I made a few trips up there at the end of the year, like before Christmas. I think I made one before Thanksgiving too. And they were quite busy then. The last time I went up there, I was the only one there in the truck area. A happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I forgot to mention that.
Sticat.cs2 says yay road trip. Is that the one where we stopped at Wawa's?
Yes. We probably did on the way back. Yep. Yeah. Oh, and we went by the house. We won't, since we're going directly to Wellsville after What a Day, we're not going to pass the decorated house again, but we did earlier, and the decorations were the same. No change, but it didn't surprise me. Yesterday, after I was finished with my delivery run yesterday, it did start to rain later that morning, and we had a lot of rain all day.
Sticat.cs2 says yo, I still have a chance.
You do.
Repeat.
You do. I forget who the last one is. Well, my video a couple days ago, when I did the update, I think I did it on the 15th. There's a short, and Teal Horse had commented asking, who was left. And I put a list of who the remaining people are and the date of their guesses. So yeah, you're in there. You're still hanging in there. I think if we get to April 1st, I think that's the last guess. So if we get to April 1st and nobody wins, then we'll have to re-guess. Is that a word? We'll have to guess again.
Sticat.cs2 says I saw someone left a date, but someone already chose the same date.
What date? Oh, did they put a date in there again? I didn't see that yet. I didn't see somebody put a date in there. I gotta set up, if this light is still blinking today on highs, that's gonna be my next contest. It's gonna be the highs flashing light watch. See when they fix it.
Cat.cs2 says, yeah, before I slept I saw someone put a date and then I scrolled up and saw it.
Huh. I'll have to look at that.
Cat.cs2 says the one party flasher light bulb contest.
Flashing light. Yeah, maybe when I get home today, maybe I'll put that together. I was going to do that, but it takes a long time to put a video together. Like I put that St. Patrick's Day video together, but it always takes longer than you think it should. I still haven't touched my gimbal. Well, no, that's not true. I touched it. I moved it from the tripod.
Cat.cs2 says I wanted to eat it all.
Yeah, that stuff is very tempting. Why are we slowing down? I moved the gimbal from, I had it on my tripod. I was going to play with it, set it up on that, take a look at it.
Cat.cs2 says OMG you didn't master the gimbal yet.
No, I know. I feel, it's sitting on my desk, right in front of me. I just know how to turn it on. That's it right now. Step one. It's kind of intimidating because when you turn it on, it's almost like it comes to life. It's a weird kind of thing.
Cat.cs2 says that sounds weird.
It feels weird. I mean, if you're holding it in your hand, and then you take the one arm and you kind of like flip it up, the way this one turns on, it automatically turns on. So you flip the arm up, and you've got the phone. You should have the phone attached to it already. So you flip the arm up, and then it just kind of like it moves around for a second, gets itself, you know, sort of oriented, I guess, leveled out, and then boom, you're standing there holding this thing when the camera's like perfectly level, looking forward. And then from there, you can do different things with it. Like you can say, you know, you can adjust which direction it will be expecting you to turn, if at all. You know what I mean? Like if you're just going to walk straight ahead, that's the normal thing. But you may be wanting to tilt it up or tilt it down, so you can set it up so that you can do that. It's, you know, they're the things that you got to learn. I don't think it's that hard to learn it, but it's just takes a little bit of time. I just noticed the ice that I had to chip off the windshield, it's still on the hood of the car. I would have thought by now it would have melted off of the hood. But I still have the crusty ice across the hood of the van.
Cat.cs2 says seems alien to me. Do you just hold on to it or does it hang like on necklace thingy strap?
No, you hold on to it. It's almost like, I think it extends, you can extend it. It's basically just maybe like, if it's folded down, it's like 8 inches long, maybe 6 to 8 inches long. And you flip the arm up, that might make it 10, you know, so it's basically just a handheld. It's like you're holding onto a, you know, like a selfie stick kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's not one that you'd like wear around on your chest or something like that. It does make it a lot easier to hold the phone though, because, you know, like, it's not easy to hold a phone in a horizontal position for a long period of time. And keep it steady. I've got to learn that though before I go to Washington for my day trip to Washington. It does probably draw more attention to you though, you know what I mean? Like if you're walking around with that thing, instead of just carrying the phone in your hand, like if you're just walking along with the phone in your hand, nobody's going to really like go, oh, they're going to, it's not like you stand out like, but with this thing, people are going to look at you and go, oh, you know, this guy's like he's doing some serious filming.
Cat.2 says I thought it was a little metal detector.
A little metal. You know what? You can actually hold it down too. The way it's designed, you can either hold it so that it's above your hand, you know, like you would do with a selfie stick, or you can actually hold it so that it's lower to the ground like that. It would look like a metal detector if you did that. $3.79. So gas has gone up this past couple of days. We're up to $3.79 now. That was $3.49 the other day, so that's gone up significantly. All right, I can see from here that the light is still blinking on top of the highs. It's kind of weird though. It's not a sporadic. It's not a consistent beat of the light. Flash, not beat. Beat would be a sound. I don't know if there's a light on the other side or not. Oh, look, I think they just turned the drive-through. I think they're open at 6:30. I wonder if they know their drive-through is just the like basically the computer wallpaper. All right, you think they saw me? What do you think? Oh, okay, let's stay up. Here we go. Calling. What a day, cafe. Here we go. I'll see if they pick it up. I will tell them.
Hi.
Good morning.
Morning. We have someone sent out to get you.
All right. You know, your drive-through is just like the wallpaper. It's not a menu.
Oh, my goodness. I'll have to call Tony. Thank you, though.
All right. No problem. Talk to you later. Oh. I just mentioned to her, you know, your drive-through thing is just like a picture. It's not.
Oh, it's not working? I turned it on this morning.
It's just like clouds.
Oh, God.
It's very pretty.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to see it. I didn't realize it wasn't actually on.
Maybe it's a new menu item. It's called a cloud shake. Yeah, it's still the clouds. We'll see if it looks like that when I pull away. You know, they haven't been like clearing these trays out. Get here. Okay, let me just say, this is added work. Here we go. Okay.
Says cloud in.
You know, it's windy out here, and this thing is going to blow away. I can feel it. It's on the edge, man. It's on the edge of blowing away. God. This plastic thing is ridiculous. It's a good thing you can't see me right now. It's very stupid looking. All right, here we go. Oh, no.
CS2 says step on it with your foot.
It's
Just let it fly away.
I can't. It doesn't go to the ground. All right, I'm almost done. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get these. Throw these cinnamon buns on there and.
Cat.cs2 says sounds like a party back there.
Like, it's the dumbest thing. Look at it. Watch. See what I'm talking about? Now right now it's not too windy, okay? Look, it's going to act good for me right now. But anyway, that's the thing. One of these days you're going to see it blow over the building. I'll be chasing after it. It'll be definitely a short. All right. Let's pull it together. Let's go. We're in the building now. We got to look like we know what we're doing. A little chilly out there.
What?
It's a little chilly out there. Good morning. All right, have a good day, guys. Oh, the menu's back. I see the menu now. Put that there. All right, hang on. I'll run in there for a second, and I'll be right back. Start our little journey. I'm back. All right. Let me just put my GPS on for Weavers. Weavers. There they are. Weavers of Wellsville. Let's go there. Directions.
Cat.cs2 says I need to eat a lot of donuts to get fat. I need 7 pounds by 2 weeks. How many donuts do you think I would need to eat?
Wait a minute. You need to gain 7 pounds in 2 weeks? I don't know. I'd have to create a spreadsheet and work this out, but just a rough guess, at least.
Stacat.cs2 says yeah.
I think you want to start at 7 pounds. Well, assuming you don't change any other part of your diet, you want to eat at least 4 donuts a day. I don't know. I'm making that up. Sounds good though. 4 donuts a day, 4 to 6. Start out with 4, and if you're not gaining, you know, like quarter pound a day, or how? So you got 14 days. You have to gain a half a pound a day, right? Is that what we're saying? You have to gain a half a pound a day.
Stacat.cs2 says no, I can't even eat a whole one. LOL.
You have to gain
At
a half a pound a
Nigel.3
day.
says good morning, Craig.
Good morning, New York gal. Look, there's the light. Now it's... Now...
Nigel.3 says 4. At Gideonet says chase those donuts down with a milkshake or 2.
Oh yeah, milkshake would be good. That's true. That'll build it up. I mean, gaining a half a pound a day, that's doable. That's doable. I was just checking out the light. It is flashing consistently. I haven't heard...
Stacat.cs2 says good morning he at Nigel.3 at Gideonet. At Nigel.3 says my milkshake brings all the taken men to the yard. At Nigel.3 says just a cat hello. At Nigel.3 says good morning to you.
All right, we're on our way to Pennsylvania.
Cameron Toys Double Hazy says half a pound a day. I do that already and don't want to. At Justacat.cs2 says I've been making banana weight gain shakes and I can't finish half the glass. At ReedJones5862 says morning Craig.
Hey, good morning, Reed. Welcome to the van. We got a little side trip today. We're going to Pennsylvania. Little town called Wellsville.
Nigel.3 says happy St. Patrick's Day. At Justacat.cs2 says good morning he at ReedJones5862.
Yeah, happy. At least we'll get some daytime driving.
Stacat.cs2 says happy St. Patty's everybody.
Top of the morning to you.
Jones5862 says morning Sawyer. Jones586
Years ago, I worked in an office building, and the operations manager,
Stacat.cs2 says did you?
his name was Michael Connolly. He was an Irish gentleman, and he would have cupcakes delivered for the entire office.
Stacat.cs2 says wear green suspenders.
Yeah, I didn't have green. You know, if I'd been thinking ahead, I probably would have bought some green suspenders, but I don't have any. That is a good idea, though. You know, maybe next year, because I'll be such a suspender person, maybe once I start wearing them, I'm not going to want to stop. You know, once you watch one of those videos, though,
Stocat.cs2 says if Gigionet tanks, I'll try that too, hee.
okay. Once you watch one of those videos with the lumberjack guy, it's all you get recommended to you for a while. So just prepare yourself if you watch one.
Michael.3 says good morning, Reed. Stocat.cs2 says if Cameron's ways double hazy share some LBS. Lol.
No, but it is hard to gain weight if you're not, if it's,
Michael.3
you're not
says
hungry.
woke to snow and have to clean off truck to be able to leave side.
Yeah, I didn't wake up to snow, but when I went up to the bakery, it had snowed. So I had to clean off the van, which is still has, the hood is still covered with snow. I mean, well, ice. It's not really snow. It's starting to break up on the hood. I have noticed, though, that cold weather doesn't feel so bad when you know it's just for a short period of time. Like, it's 27 degrees, which sounds awful, but just kind of knowing that it's going to go up into the 30s today. Makes it a little more tolerable.
Stocat.cs2 says at Nigel.3 sorry. Sigh. Hope you don't have to do so much of that soon. Michael.3 says yay cold can go. At Justicat.cs2 says come on spring.
Yeah, really. Agree. Yeah, see the hood? Do you see this, how it's like snow? Or ice or whatever that is on there? Like, And I've been driving around now for, what, almost an hour. I'm surprised it hasn't melted off.
Michael.3 says March 20th.
Oh yeah, March 20th is the first day of spring.
Underscore Sladen 7 says what up, Craig?
Hey, what's going on? Good morning. We're on our delivery run, but we are also going to be picking up some supplies up in Pennsylvania this morning. So we made our delivery, but we're now headed up to Pennsylvania to pick up. I don't know what we're really picking up. We're picking up like 5 boxes of, I think, supplies to make donuts and stuff. I think they went through more donuts than they expected over the past few days. Now that St. Patrick's Day is over, we're going to roll right into Easter. They've already been making the cookies, Easter, like egg-shaped cookies.
Morgano 7106 says what's poppin'?
Oh, here we go. Or, hold on. I wonder why my GPS lady is not talking to me.
Vigord says hi.
We're headed to Pennsylvania. PA. Actually, the Pennsylvania line is only about
Vigord says hi.
14 miles.
At justicat.cs2 says hey at Elstad and at Samorgano 7106 at Colvigords.
Was that English? Sometimes I don't understand what she's saying, but I think she's reading usernames. Sometimes she makes it sound like a name, and sometimes she just reads the letters.
Pass this light. Then, at the next one, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Maryland 140 West, Maryland 97 North.
Oh, there you go. Ooh, she sounds a little sexier.
Hey, turn left onto Maryland 140 West, Maryland 97 North.
Doesn't she? That's the GPS lady. She sounds much different than the text-to-speech. She sounds calmer. A little less nasally.
miles, take the Maryland 97 North exit toward Union Mills, Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. We're not going to Gettysburg.
Igor says car.
I do want to go up to Gettysburg though one day.
Cat.cs says bakery van.
Yeah, we're in a bakery van. A bakery delivery van. This is 97. It's 27. I don't want 27. I want 97. There's the mall. There's a mall to my right.
Cat.cs2 says, is it haunted there?
Haunted? Where? Gettysburg has places that are haunted. They have tours to explore the haunted areas in Pennsylvania, in Gettysburg.
Half a mile, take the Maryland 97 North exit toward Union Mills, Gettysburg.
Half a mile, half a mile. I think there's a road though before I get there. Right lane must turn right. Yeah, we don't want to be over there yet.
Leo 1973 says, good morning everyone.
Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all who have joined our band.
Maryland 97 North exit. Then you'll take the Maryland 97 North ramp to Union Mills, Gettysburg.
You know we will. Oh look, that's a new Sheets. They're opening a new Sheets up here.
Cat.cs2 says, hey good morning, two finger at Toyo 1973. At Colby Gort says hi.
Hello.
Maryland 97 North ramp.
That's where we are. That's where we are, pumpkin. Right lane ends. This guy's going to see in front of me. We're actually very close to the Westminster Airport, but this is not a big airport. This is like small planes going in and out. We don't have any jets. No jets out here.
Toyo 1973 says, Ty just a cat. At justacat.cs2 says, happy St. Patty. At Toyo 1973, hope your run is easy and a good day. At Hala 6448 says, good morning everyone.
What's going on over there? Look, this car is like ran into that telephone. Did you see that? What? Why would that have happened? Did you see that? We got emergency vehicles. I wonder if it's for that accident. Yeah, it is. We dodged that bullet. Like behind me are a number of ambulance.
Cat.cs2 says, HII good morning at Hala 6448. Happy St. Patty's.
That was pretty crazy. Why were there people? Why would that car have run into that telephone pole? It was in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't next to the road. You had to go up on the curb to do it. this road's going to get all backed up in the next 10 minutes because the whatchamacallit, the ambulance and all those people out there.
At Hala 6448 says good morning, just a cat.
Hala's in the van.
Dot 3 says what's in PA?
There's a supplier. It's called Weavers of Wellsville.
Dot 3 says good morning, Hala and chat I missed.
And we need to go and pick up some supplies at Weavers. Weavers of Wellsville. So Wellsville is about maybe 7 or 8, maybe 10 miles north of Hanover, Pennsylvania. We're going to ride through Hanover.
Dot 3 says supplies. The plot thickens.
The plot thickens. You know, bakery supplies.
6448 says good morning, NYGAL. Cat CS2 says daydream via Weavers.
Yeah, dream Weavers. I could dream about Weavers. I've been there enough, I know. I had a weird dream. Like the other day I was dreaming about something and it was very real to me. I remember like I thought I was waking up and that this was like a week or so ago. So I don't remember all the details about the dream, but I just remember waking up and like feeling like the dream was that I was waking up,
6448
but I wasn't really waking up.
The same thing, just a cat. At Nigel.3 says I haven't dreamed in a long time, or shall I say remember it.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of times depends on the timing of the dreams. It's a weird dream though, because the dream was that I was waking up, but I wasn't really waking up. And I looked out the window and it was snowing and I'm like,
Cat.cs2
very
says
confused.
Allah.
Very confused.
Plus 6448 says I had a dream. At Nigel.3 says I guess PA sells better high-end bakery items than Maryland Hala. I mean keep going NY.
I think they sell better priced bakery goods, that's for sure. I mean, we got to get quality, affordable bakery supplies.
Dot 3 says I know I did hear that.
In half a mile, turn right onto Old Hanover Road.
Right onto Hanover Road. Well, I think it's a timing thing too. I think we have a regular delivery from this company, but if we're getting short on, so I think that delivery normally shows up on Fridays. I think maybe Thursday or Friday.
Right onto Old Hanover Road.
Right to Old Hanover Road. That's us. That is interesting, though, that whenever I get, because there are a couple of places that I go to get supplies, and both of them are in Pennsylvania. But we're only like, I mean, the bakery is only about 15, maybe less than 15 miles from the Pennsylvania line. So it's just, in some cases, it's just more convenient than going down to Baltimore or some other location. Maryland. It's gonna be a nice day. I think it's gonna be pretty sunny. It's gonna be a good day, no matter what they say. Sunshine, yeah. Cars coming the other way are coming snow. We may see a little more snow than we did in Maryland. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but speed's 50 miles an hour. Very hilly. I don't know if you could tell by sometimes the camera doesn't give you perspective on the hills. But we're going up and down like a roller coaster ride here. There's ice out here. Some of these spots.
Welcome to Pennsylvania.
Welcome to Pennsylvania. We are in Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. Pennsylvania is a big state.
Stop sign, turn right. At the stop sign, turn right onto Westminster Road.
Westminster Road. What? It is Westminster Road. It's weird. This is like ice right on the corner. That doesn't look safe. We are riding through some densely wooded areas, so it wouldn't surprise me if the connection is spotty. The sun is getting bright. think we're getting close to Hanover. I believe. I don't think she's reading. Like, I see messages popping up, but she's not reading. What's going on? I don't want to start her up again because you know what happens then.
A mile, turn right onto West Middle Street.
West Middle Street, turn right. Yeah, I don't think she's reading the chat. I don't know what's going on with her. Maybe she's jealous because the other lady's talking. GPS lady. Where is Middle Street? Gotta find Middle Street. Yeah, we're in Hanover now.
Right onto West Middle Street.
Oh, there was West Middle Street right there. She's not going to be happy with me.
At the next stop sign, turn right. At the stop sign, turn right onto Frederick Street.
Okay, okay. I'm going to stop and check our chat. Yeah, you guys, I just saw something flash up on the screen. I know you guys are talking to me and I can't hear it. Stop in here. Hold on, guys.
At the next stop sign, turn left. At the stop sign, turn left onto West Walnut Street. Then at the next stop sign, you'll turn left.
We're gonna go back where we're supposed to be. But let me check this. Look, I was just talking about how I liked Stream Buddy. Now it's not working. It's not being my buddy. Yeehaw! Weavers. I don't need that. Alright, let's see. Definitely not cheaper. I didn't hear. Your live stream, blah, 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 blah. It's no longer live. Yeah, it is. You guys. You still see me, don't you? Press reconnect and manually okay, let's try this. If she starts talking twice, I'm I'm going to be very unhappy.
Carol Bocher says keep going or you won't get there.
All right, here we go. I think it's back. All right, I think we're back. I don't know what happened. Disconnected.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Frederick Street.
Everyone smiley face. At Hollis 6448 says that would crazy.
In a quarter mile, continue straight onto Pennsylvania 194 North Broadway.
I think what may have happened is, like, when I went through one of those, you guys must have been buffering.
6448 says that would be crazy.
All right, here we go. We are in Hanover right now, guys. Just FYI.
Cat.cs2 says HII good morning happy Kendra. At Consummate the goodness.
Hey, Kendra's here.
At Hollis 6448 says good morning Kendra. At Daryl Bocher says two yappy directors great.
At least she's not reading everything twice now. That's funny. That has not happened before, but I bet you when I was buffering, it lost the connection to the text.
Dot3 says taking little one to school have a great if you are gone when back.
All right, be safe. Have a good drive. All right, we are about
to... goodness says NYGAL.
New York gal. All right, we're about to drive through downtown Hanover, Pennsylvania.
6448 says drive carefully NYGAL. Cat.cs2 says take care at Nigel.3.
Continue straight onto Pennsylvania 194 North Broadway.
All right, New York gal. I hope you're having a good day. I'm sure you already left now. I might be behind a little bit on my chat.
Carol Bocher says that's cool, that thing reading chat.
Yeah, normally I like it a lot. I don't like when it doesn't work right, but I think we're back now. Yeah, it lets me drive and know what's going on, so I do like it for that.
Samantha Goodness says I'm happy to see you're still on, Craig.
I am.
Always good to catch your lives.
Yeah.
I'm usually asleep long.
Continue on Pennsylvania 194 North for 6 miles.
Daryl Bocher says nice.
Yeah, we've got an extra trip today. I'm going up to pick up some supplies at Weaver's. So this is Hanover, and Hanover is the town where lots of potato chips come from. It's one of their big local companies. Looks like their gas is about the same price as Maryland.
Jones 5862 says hey Kendra smiley face. Samantha Goodness says read smiley face. At Reed Jones 5862 says you're up early Kendra.
You are, Kendra. You got a show to do tonight, don't you? A show. A stream.
Leo 1973 says good morning Kendra and read round 2 coming up on Da Road again.
A lot of older homes along here.
Carol Bocher says what state are you in? At Reed Jones 5862 says good morning Toyo. At Consummate Goodness says yep. Not sure what we're going to do yet. Maybe a game and a giveaway.
I like the game. It's been a while since you did a game, I think. I like the game. We are in Pennsylvania. We are traveling. We just went through downtown Hanover, Pennsylvania. And we're going to be heading north. I don't know exactly how many miles it is, but we're going to Wellsville.
6448 says good morning Reed. Samantha Goodness says Toyo. Daryl. At Reed Jones 5862 says good morning Holla.
Game where you had a word and then we had to guess what additional word you put behind it. I think it was behind it or in front of it. I don't remember the name of that game, but I like that one.
Carol Bocher says hello friends.
Hello. Welcome to the van. Normally it's a delivery van, but we're picking up some supplies today. Oh look, there's a skeleton still in this person's yard on the right-hand side right there. And it's a skeleton with Christmas lights.
Samantha Goodness says, yeah, I do think we'll do that tonight. Thanks for helping me make up my mind.
That was a kind
Jones 5862 says, hi Daryl.
Oh, here we go. There's the Utz building. Well, I don't know if you're going to see that or not, but that was one of the Utz buildings. Driving through the farmland now. Well, I thought we were going to see some snow, but it doesn't look like we are. The cars have snow on them. Some of them do. But that ground definitely does not have any snow on it.
Samantha Goodness says we got snow yesterday and last night.
Yeah, I guess we did too, a little bit north of me, but I didn't. In my neighborhood, we did not get any snow. I feel pretty confident about that because, like, when I got up this morning, to move my car, there was nothing on the car. But when I got up to the bakery, the van was covered. So the line must have been somewhere between Reisterstown and Hampstead, Maryland. Hopefully that's the last time we're waking up to snow this year. How much snow though? Like, is it covered?
Samantha Goodness says the streets and yard are white with little bits of leaves peeking up through the snow.
That's pretty good. That's a decent amount. You have to watch out for icy spots out here though, because we got a lot of rain yesterday. So any place where the runoff has a little bit of water on the road, it has frozen over in some spots. So you do need to be watchful for that. This is the little town, Abbottstown. Basically, we drive through the center of Abbottstown. Gettysburg is 14 miles to the left.
At the traffic circle, continue straight onto North Queen Street.
Why are the flags flying at half staff? I noticed that one other place earlier. Coffee and crumbs.
Flight right onto Pennsylvania 194 North, North Queen Street.
I think I'm going.
Swag owner 1561 says morning bro.
Hey, Fred. Good morning.
6448 says no snow here but crazy winds and rain.
Yeah, we were supposed to have the crazy winds, but we really didn't. I mean, it got a little windy last night, late. But I was expecting more. I mean, they were talking about tornadoes, but I don't think we came close to that kind of weather. Oh yeah, we're gonna go through Berlin. Not Germany. Berlin, Pennsylvania.
Samantha Goodness says the flags might be for the 3 National Guard members who died in Iraq. That's why they're flying at half staff in Ohio anyway.
Oh, maybe.
As Sam
Yeah, that's possible.
7106 says good morning to Mike Hunt.
That's possible.
Swag owner 1561 says that looks like Illinois countryside.
Here? Looks like Illinois. Yeah, this is
Samantha Goodness says Fred, Sam.
Central Pennsylvania.
Plus 6448 says they definitely should be Kendra.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. That's probably what that is. What it is, I'm sure. We're in. Berlin.
Dog 3 says I'm back. Hi goodness, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Swag owner 1561 says Kendra, did you just call me Sam? Lol. Plus 6448 says the wind was intense last night. Around midnight it actually woke me up.
Oh. Yeah, maybe Maybe I slept through the worst part.
Eagle.3 says it was really strong here too. Oh, 6448 says that was quick NYGAL. Wagoner 1561 says that's what my grandpa called me. At Nigel.3 says school down the street too cold to walk LMAO.
It is pretty cold out.
Eagle.3 says 23 really feel 14.
Ugh. We're 28 here, right where I am now.
Wagoner 1561 says 22 degrees here.
I think we're supposed to warm up to the upper 30s today, and then get a little bit warmer over the next few days.
Samantha Goodness says 21 here with a real feel of 7. At Nigel.3 says about to tear into honey bunches of oats, protein, honey and almond.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good cereal.
6448 says understable especially with the snow and ice NYGAL.
Next right onto Bermudian Church Road.
Bermudian Church Road.
Eagle.3 says yes and he just a little kid I would feel that is abuse to make him walk.
Right onto Bermudian Road.
They don't have a school bus, they have a school minivans.
Eagle.3 says it's all ice. One guy fell in the parking lot.
Yeah, I believe it because you don't really expect it.
Samantha Goodness says oh no.
You gotta be careful about falls. Especially when you get older. None of you are at that age yet, but when you get older, you gotta really watch it. I was listening to a guy the other day talk about that, and he was saying Your leg strength is the big thing. Like you really have to keep your legs strong as you get older. I mean, basically you should keep your whole body strong, but your legs, you know, just keeping your balance and all that
I
stuff.
fell on ice bed. 25. It was a nightmare. LMAO. It felt like I flipped and landed full weight on me. At Hala6448 says I bet it was quite the scene at school drop-off today, everyone driving and dropping. At Nigel.3 says and I'm 5 feet 11. Nigel.3 says holla ha ha. Samantha Goodness says ouch. NYGAL. Do your knee still hurt?
At the next stop
I
sign,
went
take a
tumbling
sharp
down the
left.
stairs some months ago and my right knee is still jacked up. At Samantha Goodness says probably should
At
get
the
that.
stop
Look how
sign,
long.
take a sharp left.
6448 says ice is dangerous.
Ice is dangerous. I agree.
Dot 3 says they still are not the same. They swelled. I swore I broke the kneecaps, but docs said they weren't. I don't believe them. Still get swollen now. A touch and they ache.
They took an x-ray and said they weren't?
Dot 3 says yes, they said no break.
Huh.
Go past Red Run Valley Road and turn right onto Calltown Road.
Like 4.
Right onto Crawltown Road.
Crawltown Road.
6448 says last time I fell I fractured my shoulder, no ice involved.
Yeah, see? Falls are dangerous. Nobody gives them enough credit. That's a big farm. That's a big farm.
Dot 3 says if you think about it our bodies can really handle much. We pretty weak to the world dangers. At Nigel.3 says can't. Samantha Goodness says falls are definitely scary. I'm quote seasoned in falling long.
The thing with getting older though, that's your hips, man. You don't ever want to break your hip.
Too hot, too cold, animals, a fall, a mosquito. At Consummate Goodness says quite. Dot 3 says rotten food.
Yeah, I don't like mosquitoes either.
At Hala6448 says it doesn't matter how many times you fall, what matters is how many times you get up. At Nigel.3 says son I mean. Says holla ha ha yes.
It's quite a stream.
Nigel.3 says it's 8 o'clock and we still have time with Craig. How magical.
Magical, wow. That's a nice word. How magical. I think it's magical that the connection hasn't dropped. We're going through some pretty wooded areas here. I'm sure you're buffering occasionally. I forgot how wooded it was back here.
Nigel.3 says, how long have you been delivering donuts and bakery items?
I started working with the bakery in September last year.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
Or August. Maybe, no, I think August I did. I started in August.
Stop sign, turn right onto Wellsville Road.
Person. Yeah, so 9 months? Is that 8 or 9 months? Yeah, it was August because, and by October, I think it was late October when I started playing around with live streaming.
Says just come across your page. Seems you're on page 1 of YouTube when doom scrolling lol. At Hala6448 says it's a brilliant way to spend St. Patrick's Day morning.
There you go, riding through the hills of Pennsylvania. Well, I'm happy to be.
Witness says what made you want to start making content streaming.
I started, so I was watching YouTube, and I think I started seeing truck drivers, like 18-wheeler type truck drivers. There's a guy out there, I think his channel name is Ride Along Gang, and I was riding along with him.
6448 says good morning Arctic Polar Wolf. At Consummate Goodness says hello, Arctic Polar Wolf smiley face.
And I kind of thought, well, that looked like something I could do. Like, and he had the text to speech working because I knew I couldn't, like, you know, I couldn't keep up with chat if I was driving. I can't, you know, I don't stop enough to be able to keep up with the chat. So I was watching that, and I thought, well, that looked like kind of like fun.
Hi, everyone.
That's funny that I was part of the doom stroll. I'm happy to be part of your doom scrolling experience this morning. And it's weird. Normally I have like a thumbnail that looks halfway decent. but I've been having issues with starting up my streams in the morning. So I just let it go with, I think it's just a picture of my profile picture. Not a good title, no description. So all that stuff that you hear about on YouTube where like you got to focus on your description and your title and all that stuff, I'm starting to not believe that.
600 feet, continue onto York Street.
At Nigel.3 says how many miles you adding today?
Continue onto York Street, then turn left onto Carlisle Road, Main Street.
This probably adds 50.
Stop sign, turn left onto Carlisle Road,
Maybe
Main Street.
100 miles, 75, 100 miles, something like that. We are almost there. This is Wellsville.
6448 says I have watched Ride Along Gang.
Bobby, I think that guy's name's Bobby, right?
Go past North Street and turn right onto Chestnut Street.
Across John.
I'm sure it was just, you know, if you watch live streams and they start suggesting them, so I'm sure it was just
Right onto Chestnut
by
Street.
chance.
Then you'll take your first left onto North Street.
I don't remember the first time I saw John.
Turn left onto North Street. Then your destination will be on the right.
We're here. We're at Wellsville. Weavers of Wellsville since 1889. Bet you they didn't.
Your destination is on the right.
I bet they didn't pull in here live streaming in 1889. All right.
Nigel.3 says interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, I think probably November, late October, November, sometime in there. You know, because once you start looking at stuff, then YouTube kind of directs you. It's all about YouTube. I mean, YouTube really has a lot of control, more control than they know over what people are seeing. All right, I'm going to back this in like I'm an 18-wheeler. Look, check this out. Now, the last time I pulled in here, I did actually lose the connection. If I lose the connection, I will come back. But like there's a wall right next to me. And I think I'm gonna try to be as far over as possible. Yeah, I hear you, I hear you. All right. Yeah, see that wall to the left? All right, I'm parked. Let's go and see if I can get in there.
6448 says, oh, we're halfway there.
We are. Oh, you know what? I want to be up a little bit. I can open the door. All right, I'm going to turn you around. There we go. Are you still there? You guys still see me? Sky, but I think that if the satellite is over there.
Samantha Goodness says, oh, living on a prayer. At Nigel.3 says, oh, living on a prayer.
All right, here we go. I'm going in. Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What can I help you with?
I'm picking up for Tuco's Bakery. Should just be like 5 boxes, I think, 5 or 6 boxes. Never know if I'm supposed to sign in. Should I? Let's do it. Let's be official. Craig. Tuco's. Pick up. It's cold in here. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but it's cold. Refrigerator. Of course, it's cold outside too. I got the van like right out here if you want to
Yeah, I got
open that up, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, okay. You guys still with me? Oh, he's still on. Oh, look, we are still on. Wow. Oh, we are still on.
Hala62 says, so this is what Maury does in his spare time.
Maury? How are you doing?
.3 says read.
Seeing these guys ride around on the forklift up. Oh, it makes me want to drive a forklift. Here we go.
.3 says, now I can't unsee it.
All right, what could you not unsee? I'm gonna have to go back on this tape and see what you guys were talking about. All right, let me get out into the open section. Well, that's good. So at least the connection stayed, right? Looks like it did. All right, let me turn you guys back around. Boom. There we go. All right. Let's see what I got here. Okay, good. Where's my GPS people? Here we go. There we go. That's what I want. Restart.
Michael.3 says, nice short.
Your destination is on the right.
Nice short. Which one? Okay, we got this. I want to go home now. How do I go home? Oh, your location. Oh. Oh my God.
Michael.3 says, St. Patrick's Day 1.
Ah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was working on that one yesterday. Too good. There we go. Boom. All right, let's get this back. Okay. I think we're set. All right, back to the bakery we go. Yeah, I've decided that for shorts, I'm just going to go ahead and use songs.
Left onto Carlisle Road, Main Street.
Like, I used to be really paranoid about using copyright material, but apparently with shorts you can do that. Is that true? Does everybody else agree with that? Because there's some sort of, when YouTube does their review of it, it comes up and it says something, but it's like acceptable. So I've decided I'm going to do that. When I make a short, if I want to put music on it, I'm just going to go ahead and use any
Stop sign, turn right.
Any song I want. This is my
At
new.
the stop sign, turn right onto York Street.
It's my new rule.
At Hala6448 says, shorts up to a minute can have music.
Oh, it's up to a minute. Perfect. Because that my shorts are typically 45 seconds to a minute. That's good to know. I think that short was 54 seconds or something like that. That's good to know.
next slight right to stay on Wellsville Road.
Plus 6448 says it will let you know right away. They will be blocked.
Oh, so if it were over a minute or something, yeah. That's what I thought. I felt pretty good about it, actually. I didn't realize that you could do any until I started playing with it the other day.
Slight right to stay on Wellsville Road.
Slight right. Slight right.
Six 6448 says I was away for a minute. What did you pick up?
It was 5 boxes of, I think they're just the supplies they need, things they need to make the donuts. It's time to make the donuts. Because I know when she mentioned that she thought I needed to, that she was going to set up a pickup for today if I was available, which I was, of course. And she mentioned the fact that I think the last few days they've had more. The deliveries have been a little bit heavier on the donuts, and I think they also had a very large order yesterday. I think it was yesterday for donuts. Like one particular customer just called in an order for a lot. So she just wanted to make sure they had enough to last until because they come down, the folks that run that place come down to Baltimore or Hampstead and make a delivery. I think it's every week, but she didn't want to run out before they got there.
Stop sign, turn left. Stop sign, turn left onto Crawltown Road.
Crawltown.
At Nigel.3 says isn't donuts the most eaten food for lack of a better sentence structure?
Is donuts? Well, it's kind of funny. Donuts are a big seller, but it depends on the rest. Like for deliveries, we've got one restaurant that just gets cakes. They get large, nice cakes that they slice up and serve
Nigel.3
as
says I think it is in America.
dessert. So they do desserts.
6448 says donuts or pizza, I would guess.
Yeah, donuts are probably up there with pizza. So one restaurant is using it for their dessert menu for cakes. Another restaurant, the deli that I deliver to in the morning, they get a lot of Danish. They get some cakes, they get eclairs, they get cookies, a lot of cookies. They don't get a lot of donuts. But then the restaurant that I deliver to, like the one that I went to this morning, they have a breakfast menu, and so they sell a decent number of donuts.
Nigel.3 says I think WLIT would be cool to start a pizza place and make gourmet brownies as desserts. At Cameron Quiz Double Hazy says so I'm hearing that pizza donuts would sell well.
A pizza donut. You probably, Well, aren't they? Don't they already make like bagel bites? Aren't bagel bites sort of pizzas, little pizzas? I think now we're coming close to a bagel bite. I used to like to make little pieces using an English muffin. Have you ever done that? So I'll toast an English muffin, and then I put pizza sauce on it, and then I put cheese on top. And depending on how fancy I want to be about it, if I want to be,
Michael.3 says yes long ago.
if I don't want to be too fancy, I just put a slice of Kraft cheese on it. You know, the kind that comes in the plastic wrapper. If I want to get fancy, then I'll take some of that shredded cheese that you buy in the bag and put that on there. That's if I'm putting a lot of effort into it.
6448 says yep, when I was a kid.
Well, now I'm kind of embarrassed because I think I did that within the past year. And I definitely did it within the past year.
Stop sign, turn left.
6448 says no
At the
Craig.
stop sign, turn left onto Davidsburg Road.
Michael.3 says the English muffin, sauce, cheese and pineapple.
Sauce, cheese. Oh, that would work. I heard John talking about pizza the other day, and I wasn't watching. I was just listening to him at this point. But he was talking about pizza with, like, he did not recommend ham and pineapple. He said that was kind of bland. He said,
Red Run Church Road and take a sharp right onto Bermudian Church Road.
wait a minute. All right, let me make this turn.
At Nigel.3 says driving is my hero BP.
Oh, I wanted to make that turn. Did I? No, up here. So he said,
6448 says I have also done it with
Take a sharp right onto Bermudian Church Road.
At Nigel.3 says pineapple, jalapeno, onion hands down. At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says bacon and pineapple is great.
he was saying, well, he was in that, yeah, he was sort of going that way.
Goodness says so many people love that ham and pineapple combo. Like lol.
Yeah, but he said that is kind of bland. He said at least use pepperoni instead of the ham. So Cameron was saying bacon. I could see that. That's another option.
Michael.3 says H3 said ham is bland.
Yeah, ham is bland. So he said the thing to do was pepperoni and pineapple, and then the jalapeno would be a good addition as well. That was his recommendation.
Says I forgot what he said. Ham is bland, so bacon is bam.
No, he didn't say that. But oh, are you thinking that would be the case? Well, bacon tastes different than ham. Bacon's good on just about anything. I don't know what, I can't think of anything bacon wouldn't be good on. I don't really eat very much bacon. I did though, one time I went through a phase where I started to buy bacon at BJ's, and I was buying, you know, like enough bacon to feed a family of 5. But I
Dot 3 says that was just my summarization of what he may have said LMAO.
I could hear him say that. Yeah, I could. But I don't eat too much bacon though. I was eating too much bacon, and I actually did. I went to, you know, I did my annual checkup
Dot 3
thing,
says, but ham was out that I know.
and the doctor was like, he's like, I don't know what's going on with you, Craig, but your cholesterol is going up fast. I'm like, oh, I know what's going on with me. What's going on with me is bacon. So I stopped eating the bacon, and my cholesterol immediately went right down. So the lesson there is, don't get too carried away with bacon. Try to keep it under control.
Ways Double Hazy says I didn't go through a lot of bacon, so I've started getting the pre-cooked stuff and do a slice or 2 at a time.
Yeah, that'll work. So the pre-cooked, you just heat it in the microwave or something?
Stop sign, turn left.
I used
Stop
to
sign,
bake
turn
it.
left onto Pennsylvania 194 South.
At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says yes. And it's much faster.
It would be faster.
At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says clean up too. At Hollis6448 says I went through a bacon wrapped shrimp on the barbecue phase.
That's good. That's a tasty treat. It's hard. Once you start eating bacon, it's hard to stop. I was baking my bacon. So I wasn't like frying it. I wasn't using oil or anything. I was actually putting it on a pan and baking it in the oven. So I thought I was doing it the right way, but I don't think there's any way to avoid it. It's basically a strip of fat with a little bit of meat to hold it together. I like it super crispy too. Bacon's got to be almost burnt for me to really like it.
Samantha Goodness says I do mine in the oven. No mess.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did it in the oven.
Samantha Goodness says the bacon is less of a problem. It's what we eat with the bacon that matters. Lol.
Yeah, that's possible. Did anybody see Gigfoot's post the other day, speaking of bacon? He had a picture of breakfast.
Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says it's the 4 donuts you eat with the bacon.
I really don't eat a lot of donuts. I know that sounds weird since I spent so much time with them. But I think his channel name is something like Gigfoot, G-I-G, like Bigfoot, but Gigfoot. 2026, I think, is his channel name. But he posted a picture of breakfast. It looks like a Denny's type, like a Grand Slam is what I thought it looked like. But it was more than you get with a Grand Slam. Like, I only saw one cup. You know what I mean? Like, usually you can tell how many people are eating at that table by how many cups are there.
Samantha says I saw it.
Yeah, like, do you think that
At Hala648 says I can't remember the last time I ate a donut. Cookies, on the other hand, can be an issue.
Cookie. Yeah. I cookies are a bigger problem for me too. But so Kendra, do you think that he ate all the stuff that was on that table? Or was that because there was only one cup of coffee or whatever was there? It wasn't like I didn't see a place setting for more than one person.
Michael.3 says I don't either, but when I do I get two smiley face.
This table had pancakes, French toast, eggs, two different versions of eggs, like 2 plates with eggs on it, bacon. It was a lot of food. I mean, it would have been a lot of food for two people. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on.
Samantha Goodness says haha, I don't know. That was a lot of food.
It was.
Samantha Goodness says I think the post said he hadn't eaten the day prior. But I'm not sure, lol.
Oh. So maybe he was making up for missing. Passed in that field to the right of us back when we were passing all that construction work. There was I guess it used to be a deer.
Samantha Goodness says I'm off to get school started with the boys.
All right,
great
that sounds
hanging
good.
with you guys.
Yeah, I'm glad you could hang out, Kendra. I'll probably see you tonight. Feels good in the van, but it's still 29 degrees outside.
Michael.3 says looks like a nice relaxing drive.
Yeah, it's nice up here.
6448 says I am trying to decide if it's a go the movie day or go to Manhattan for the parade day. At Nigel.3 says by goodness have a great day.
Well, I would normally say the parade would be good. because
Alice 6448 says take care Kendra.
you know, you can do the movie on another day, but you can't do the parade another day. However, it is very cold out. So that's the only drawback on the parade is going to be the temperature. If you went to the movie, what movie would you go see? I don't even know what movies are out. I have no idea what popular movies are out.
Who says have a good one Kendra.
And for you to get over to the city, do you take like a ferry, or do you do the subway?
6448 says and still windy on the ferry.
The ferry.
At Nigel.3 says holla movie.
Yeah. I think if it was warmer, I would definitely go for the parade. But I agree, it's kind of chilly out.
Alice
600 feet at the
6448
traffic
says
circle.
I could
Take the
take
third
bus,
exit onto South
subway,
Queen
or ferry.
Street.
Nigel.3 says the wind is brutal.
Yeah. Oh, that's true too. Yeah, see, it's not just cold, but it's cold and windy. Yeah. One of these days, when it gets warm out, I want to go to Gettysburg. Take some in Gettysburg, you can just drive around in Gettysburg, but you can also get out and walk around a little bit.
Alice 6448 says I was frozen on Sunday watching the parade. At Zay21 says Craig. At Nigel.3 says I have been there, it is amazing. You get me to go.
Yeah. Oh, I've been up there a lot. I like climbing around on the rocks up there. Devil's Den. Stuff like that.
Zay21 says how you doing Craig. At Hollis
I'm doing
6448
good.
says yes.
How are
Lots
you?
to see there. At justacat.cs2 says HII good morning at Zay21.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Zay.
21 says I'm well. Hollis 6448 says good morning Zay. At Zay21 says hi Sar. At Zay21 says thanks.
Zay, you're up early out there.
At Nigel.3 says hi Zay.
It's not even 6 o'clock out there yet. Are you working early, or are you just getting up?
Justacat.cs2 says you working. Zay. 21 says just work AMD work. I got off 5 hours ago at 1 a.m. and have my other job TK due at 7.
Oh my. You're gonna wear yourself out, Zay.
21 says yes, saw her at 7:30 at the school. 21 says yeah, I know.
Huh?
21 says it's been a lot. Sticat.cs2 says yeah, a lot.
How's your car, Zay? Didn't you have issues? Weren't you having trouble with your car? Maybe I'm thinking of wrong. Maybe I'm thinking wrong.
Oh, 21 says fixed it a while back.
Oh, that's good. How's Mrs. Zay doing? Is she keeping you under control?
Oh, 21 says she been sick as a dog.
Oh, that's not good. Well, I hope she feels better.
Oh, 21 says I will send her the message, Craig.
Very good. Hopefully she's sleeping in.
Sticat.cs2 says, hope she feels better. Tell her I said he. Oh, 21 says she is. Oh, 21 says we'll do Sawyer.
Zay, how's your weather out there?
Oh, 21 says I am just having some coffee. Oh, 21 says man Crag, it's shorts weather over here.
Really? Wow.
At Zay 21 says 80 degrees out yesterday.
Jeez. Well, we had a few days, maybe a week or so ago, where it was in the 70s. This is very unusual. But it's dipped back down now. I think it's going to bounce back to the 50s and 60s soon. But 80s, that's like...
Oh, 21 says my poor old Suburban doesn't have AC.
What? Oh, your old Suburban, okay. Well, 80, isn't 80 pretty warm for there? Even like, how warm does it get in the summer there?
Oh, 21 says we have the new one still. She been doing great.
That's good.
Oh, 21 says 90-ish, almost 100.
Okay. That's what happens here. We get the...
Oh, 21 says I didn't have immunity though.
definitely get 90s in the summertime. If it gets to 100, that's pretty hot for us, but it happens.
A21 says I'm in the high desert climate. XA21 says so H-unity is always low.
Oh, that's good. We get a lot. I mean, it gets very muggy when it gets hot here.
A21 says days why I hate Portland and won't live there again.
Portland, Oregon. I've been to Portland, Oregon. I went there, visited there a few times when I was working.
A21 says man, gas prices through the roof over there.
Oh, I guess so.
At night, 3 says I haven't really heard much about Maryland and extreme weather.
I mean, we don't get anything too crazy. It gets warm here in the summer, but we don't really get very often tornadoes, hurricanes.
At Nigel.3 says right, like it's not that bad winter, summers no tornadoes. Earth cakes. At Say21 says I wish we had snow this year. Will we TR fire season wise?
Yeah, we had snow this year. We had a couple of, had the one fairly decent sized snow. And it was so cold. It wasn't just the fact that we had a snowfall. It was, I guess, it ended up being maybe 8
21
inches.
says you were fucking lucky.
It was decent. It was a decent snowfall. But the problem was, it stuck around for weeks because the temperature was like in the 20s or lower.
Next light, turn
At
left.
Nigel.3 says do you get weather like here?
What's that? Like what kind of weather? It's a very interesting street. It's like the houses are right on the street.
21 says I am off to drink coffee and GWTNON with my day. Good to seeing you, Craig.
Yeah, good
At
seeing you, Tuesday.
Nigel.3 says summer. Fall, cold, hot, or are you more
At the
like
light,
southern
turn
weather?
left onto Carlisle Street.
We're probably more like southern. I mean, not like, well, yeah, we're more like the southern. Maybe not quite as hot as Florida, but when we get into summer, we're pretty similar.
Stickcat.cs2 says have a good day, Zay.
That was a little bit of a rhyme there. Have a good day, Zay. Hey, have a good day, Zay. I'm making this turn, ladies and gentlemen. We are making this turn.
Stickcat.cs2 says lol, Craig.
person walking on the sidewalk is almost walking in step with this tune. Do, do, do. Do you see them? Just takes very small steps, and so they're very quick, and they were in sync with the song there for a little while. The other day, I was cracking up. Were you there that day when, like, John was driving around in North Carolina, and you know, first you get a plane that flies right over the highway. Then you get a balloon. He's following a balloon around, and then all of a sudden he's like says there's skydivers. I'm like, no, this can't all be happening the same afternoon. You're just driving around, and you've got skydivers, balloons. I mean, what the heck was going on? It's just like an average day in North Carolina. We see balloons around Preakness. The week that they have the Preakness in Baltimore, they used to, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have balloons. Maybe the week, sometime during the week before that, they'd have a celebration, and then all these balloons would go up, and sometimes you'd see them fly over. And then I live not maybe 10 miles, 15 miles north of where the Preakness, where Pimlico track is. And so sometimes we'd see the blimp. The Goodyear blimp would go over the house. But these are very unusual events. I don't think I've ever seen a skydiver just spontaneously. I almost went skydiving one time. Didn't do it though. I chickened out.
Cat.cs2 says I don't think there was a balloon. He was faking us outlaw.
Well, yeah, there was one moment where I think I saw it, and it looked like the shape of a balloon. I think it was way off in the distance. The thing is, when you're filming, your camera always makes things look like they're much smaller and much further away than they really are. So, like, I'm sure he saw it, and it's like, oh, there's a balloon, and it's obvious.
Cat.cs2 says I'm laughing.
And it looks really big, but it never looks the same on camera. Like, even when you have a near miss, like when I have a deer run in front of me, it can be very, very close. But when I go back and look at the video, it's like, oh, what's the big deal, Craig? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do the coffee thing again. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. We're gonna do Wawa again. This is gonna become a regular thing.
Take your next ride onto Clover Lane.
All right, calm down, lady. Calm down, pumpkin. This is our Wawa.
Stickcat.cs2 says grab a snack and drink for Pumpkin 2.
Look, just look at. Don't you think it's weird that the? Can you see the hood? Like, why isn't that ice melting? Is it really that cold out? I don't think so. All right, let me think about this. What do I want to take in with me? I don't think I have to take anything in with me. That'll stay on. Everything's going to be good. I'll just have to put the. Remind me about the radio when I come out of here. Oh, it is.
Stickcat.cs2 says I'm really surprised. Isn't hot under the hood.
I know. That's what I thought. All right. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't probably wear this in there because I'll be walking too far.
Stickcat.cs2 says, but I don't know bakery van.
No, the engine's up there, so yeah, I mean, you are right. All right, be right back.
Stickcat.cs2 says coulda left the music on for us and the window cracked or something, lols. Michael.3 says laughing out loud Shazam MM. Michael.3 says okay who passed gas. Stacat.cs2 says I think I found a Cheeto. Stacat.cs2 says hot Cheetos. At Nigel.3 says quick let's go do a wheelie. Stacat.cs2 says wheelies. Michael.3 says you get a Cheeto and you greet a Cheeto, everybody getting Cheetos. Stacat.cs2 says I share cheats.
You know what? There we go. Oh, that's weird. You guys back? Are we back? That was very weird.
Ways Double Hazy says we're back.
How long were you gone?
At Justacat.cs2 says ya back.
Were you gone for long? Did you see me come back to the car? That's weird.
Justacat.cs2 says not long. At Justacat.cs2 says lol.
It's weird. I don't know what. Did you see me come back to the car though, and then it stopped?
Michael.3 says, did you get Cheetos?
No, I didn't get Cheetos. I didn't get Cheetos.
Ways Double Hazy says saw that. Then it started looping.
That's weird. That is really weird. I don't know what happened when I. Anyway, all right. So let me. Okay, here we go. Did you hear me say I got Irish cream coffee creamer? Celebrating St. Patrick's Day now. It's pretty good. I don't usually do flavored coffee.
Stacat.cs2 says I didn't hear it.
Huh. So I said that right when I got back in the car. I said, hey, I just got the... But anyway. All right, we're back. Here we go. Last leg of the journey. Hanover to Hampstead.
3 says nice, is it good?
It is good, actually. It's different. But different in a good way. All right, let's see that. No, I didn't get Cheetos. One thing I'm looking for, though, I didn't see it in there, but I've seen...
Stacat.ps2 says I was laughing too much to have heard you hee hee.
I've seen I guess maybe it's just for this year because of the 250-year anniversary, but Monster has
Vodka 12 says, hey, what time is it? Where you at?
a drink that looks like the American. It's a red, white, and blue and stuff. It looks like a flag. It is 9:21 a.m. So it's Eastern Daylight Time. I'm in Pennsylvania, PA. But we're just visiting Pennsylvania. We're going back to Maryland, which is the direction we're headed in now.
Vodka 12 says, over here on the west side still dark.
Oh yeah, so 6:22. The west side, the left side. Yeah, most of us over here on the east side.
Dot 3 says you should make a short that is, spot the bakery van, and hide your van in Leica Where's Waldo, and we have to find it.
But where would I hide it? What do you mean? How would I hide it? I like the idea, but how would I hide it? Well, you know what would be kind of a fun thing?
Dot 3 says, draw ILTHEC new question.
Think about that. I thought about this once before. What if?
Dot 3 says, it just popped into my head.
Yeah, but what if if I made a short? I wouldn't even have to be in the van. I could be in my own car too. What if I made a short and I'm like driving on a street somewhere? Now, you all know that I'm in Maryland, so you would kind of be able to narrow it down a little bit. But what if I just like drove along a stretch of road where all you would see were the signs, right? A couple of road signs. Maybe if I was on a highway, you'd see an exit sign or something. But like I'd have maybe 45 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds of driving, and then you'd have to guess where I was. So you'd have to like look at and Google street names. Then you'd have to come down and, you know, do Google Earth to see if it looked like where I was. You know what I mean? I think that would be kind of cool. I did think about that. That would, I mean, I don't think that's probably what you were thinking when I'm finding the van, but I did have that similar to that idea. Like where am I driving? And you get this brief little flash of a road. Like maybe like right here, I'm riding along, blah, 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 blah.
CS2 says, hide on.
That would be sticky. You know, because there's frosting, there's Jimmy's. Can you imagine what you would look like if you came up?
Dot 3 says, nope, didn't know that is possible, seems extreme law.
What seems extreme? Hiding under donuts or my idea? I mean, you'd have a very clear video because you do like 4K, you're driving along. It's not like a live stream, which breaks up occasionally. And so you're driving along and you would have the ability to see like a business on the side of the road or a street name, something. And you would be guessing where that ride was located. I don't know, maybe it's stupid. You think it's a stupid thought? You call it like, where am I? Would be the, something like that. Instead of where's Waldo, you'd be like, where am I? Which is a question I frequently ask myself.
Dot3 says I don't think everyone would be able to search to find you. I know I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
At Justicat.cs2 says lol, I was busy laughing. At Nigel.3 says not everyone knows how.
Well, see, it'd be educational. All right, it probably is. It's probably stupid. Wow, they were some nasty potholes. Coming up on Maryland pretty soon. She's going to tell us. Here we go. We're crossing into Maryland. See if Pumpkin says it.
Justicat.cs2 says, but if you like it that much, you could make it happen.
I could try it. See what. Maybe I'll do it once and see what happens. Look, the GPS lady did not.
Justicat.cs2 says, I don't know how long.
I mean, sometimes I look at the shorts that people are making. Are you all seeing all the shorts that people are making now that talk about using the audio? Like, if you use this sound in your video, you're going to get 1 million likes or whatever. Like, are you seeing them? Or is that just me? Like, or the one where the guy said, it's the same voice. It's like some guy who says, I woke up and I had 5,000 views on my video. And then he goes, but only 12 likes. Have you seen that one? Like, I don't know what.
Cat.cs2 says, is it a red square? Does it look plastic?
A red square plastic. What do you mean? A red square? No. No. I don't know about a red square plastic. Although if you're talking about the one where they say use this sound, it could be anything, because I've seen that, I guess, what do you call it, an idea? I've seen that type of video, or short.
Sticat.cs2 says not the one then. Ooh.
Ooh. No, I've seen it on several different versions, though.
Sticat.cs2 says, yeah, maybe that I scrolled past fast.
Yeah, that's what I do now. I just don't understand. Once they start coming at you, man, you can't shake them. No, I think that where am I idea, I don't like that idea anymore. I thought about it once before. I must have figured out then that it's kind of goofy. Truck up there that is loaded down with some tall, and they almost look like bags of mulch. I don't.
Justacat.cs2 says I would actually have to see the plan to judge law. At Justacat.cs2 says on paper law.
Paper. No, I don't think I'm going to do it. I mean, all these ideas go through my head, but I got too many other things I should be doing anyway. Like, I need to make the video about the flashing light contest. Or not the video, but the post. I got a plan for our Washington. If it's sunny and nice on the day that I go to Washington, I think I'm going to have like 2 hours to walk around. So I'll walk around outside and check out like the Lincoln Memorial or something like that, the Washington Monument. If it's rainy, then I got to find out if I can go to a. We got police action up here. Police action. If it's rainy, we'll find some place I can go to, like a museum or something. I don't know if you can take video in a museum. I mean, I presume you can. I don't know. What is going on here? So there must have been an accident here.
Justacat.cs2 says call them and ask.
There was a big accident here. Yeah, well, I will do that. I mean, I'm going to look online to see what's near, because I know I'll be dropping Janet off at somewhere around the White House. So I'll try to figure out where is a good place to park, where is a good place to, what museums are nearby there. I think it'd be fun. I know one bad place to go is whatever they call the Navy Yard or whatever. I just saw something on the news this morning that there's another incident where people were like, gunshots were fired and people were getting all. I don't think anybody was injured, but I think it's called the Naval Yard. It's apparently not a good area to be hanging out. I'm sure there are probably some protesters that I could get on film. mean, they're always protests. They're always protesting something in Washington. This is Manchester, Maryland. Manchester, Maryland. Not to be confused with Manchester, England.
At justacat.cs2 says yikes. Stay away from the protest.
How do you think I should? Depends on what they're protesting. Yeah, no, you're probably right. That's probably a good idea. It's never good to go to a protest.
Justacat.cs2 says these buildings are like Monopoly game pieces.
Yeah, they are kind of, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to put a hotel on this road. We're almost back to the bakery. We're home. So I'm going to ride around to the back because I've got to unload these boxes. But I will get us parked up there and then end the stream. This is the back side of the bakery. Tell people that Craig showed you the back side today.
Cat.cs2 says thank you for being nice and laughing makes me feel better and happy.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Laughing is good. I mean, I guess it can be inappropriate at times, but not often. All right, am I good? I'm good. This is good. All right, I'm going to... Where are we here? Here we go. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around, bright eyes. All right, so good ride. What? Almost 4 hours. 3.5, something like that. So thanks for hanging out with me. That was fun. And yeah, I'm just gonna unload these boxes and then I'm heading home, work on some videos. But thanks for hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow. Is Wednesday, so I'm back on tomorrow at 5:15. All right, so I will see you all later. Have a great day. Stay warm. And enjoy the rest of your St. Patrick's Day.